Hi class. So this week's questions start with asking what are the type of changes that Hockaday responders should consider. I think that in the text it notes that some changes are planned and other changes are not planned. I'm sure the technical changes to the language problem was definitely a problem that was not planned, yet the results resulted in a better, more efficient system with less bugs in it, so the change was actually positive. In this case, the team made a technical change, and I think that you can say that HR made a little bit of a behavioral change. It's kind of a stretch, but because the uncooperative team members were kind of weeded out, and then also because Jill kind of looked to her superiors as a little bit of direction for the next time that this may happen. So the second question says, should Jill be considering any innovations or incremental changes, and apply the text, please? I think that from a business standpoint, you should always be thinking up new ideas. So innovation should constantly be a part of your daily business life, or in the back of your head, because coming up with new ideas definitely doesn't fit like a 9-to-5 schedule. I think that new ideas can be sparked at any time. But I think in this case that the incremental change is more fitting. And I think that the text noted 3 factors that affect innovation and change, which are resources, processes, and values. They didn't really talk about the resources, but I feel like this team really did what it needed to fix the problem. So I don't feel like resources, when we're talking about a change that is positive for the business, I don't think resources would be a problem. The process obviously is in place after the crisis has happened. I feel like they have a stronger team there. And the values are great because the remaining team has good values. I think even they noted that at the end of the crisis, they were all putting their vacations on hold, and that really shows that the organization comes first for them, which is good, strong set of core values. So the third question here says, which process or model for innovation or change and why, and cite the text. Here I think a couple fit. I think the doctor-patient model fits because there's a little bit of examining symptoms and then coming up with ideas on how to fix them. And then I also think that the process model fits a little bit because it says that everyone contributes to a solution in that part of the text, and that they work hand in hand. Question number 4 says, what are the barriers that the Hockaday crew faces? I think that one main barrier that probably team member Francois was working with was silence. I think that he was upset. We saw that in the case study, and he probably didn't speak up or speak his mind. And then the text noted that you lose vital information when some people remain quiet. I think Francois was also working on a little bit of active and a little bit of passive resistance. Passive resistance and silence to me kind of go hand in hand, but the active resistance is he definitely kind of made a stink around the office and let it be known that he wasn't super happy about what was going on. It also said that only a third of the changes are successful, and in this case it said that customer service numbers declined, so I felt like that was worth noting as well. And then the last question, it said anything else Jill should consider here. After finishing the whole chapter, I think that it is important to remember how trust can be built in this situation, and that trust building among your team members and employees is critical. I think that Jill needs to remember that. Also, I think that it is important for Jill to remember her leadership throughout this process. I know that she had a little questioning of her skills after this whole thing happened, but being a strong leader will help the change process overall. That's what I gained from this week's material. So thanks so much. Have a good week.